All right, so this is going to be my Disney Channel Halloween episode ranking. So basically, yeah, all the Disney Channel Halloween episodes from that I have nostalgia about. So there's going to be a lot of shows on here that I have multiple episodes from, and those are the ones that I'm most nostalgic about. There's going to be a lot of TV shows that don't have any episodes on here, mostly because I don't have any nostalgia. I don't have any memory of really watching those episodes as a child. So I'm not saying that those are not good episodes. I'm just saying that they're not. I have no nostalgia towards them, so I don't really have any way to rank them rather than going back and watching all those other Halloween episodes. But that's going to be such a big task to do. So if there's episodes on here that you think or if there's episodes that you think are not on here that should be, just leave them in the comments, and I will make sure to try to watch those and maybe update my own personal list of episodes to watch. But yeah, this is going to be the video. Let's go. Number 20 is going to be season 2, episode 3 of Liv and Maddie, which is Helga Rooney. So basically, it's all about they have a third twin, Helga, who's kind of just a demon, basically. I mean, she's just crazy, and I just think this is very cringy. It's very kind of disturbing. Everything about Helga, I think, is just very disturbing. Nothing about it's actually very good. And yeah, I really don't have much to say about this episode. I just really do not like Helga at all. It's just very disturbing. Number 19 is going to be Mutant Farm 3 from Ant Farm. So I like the first two Mutant Farms. This third one is kind of a little bit different. They open like a portal, like so. Yeah, the monster people open a portal to kind of meet their human versions, and then they go through a whole bunch of different things like that. Trying to I don't want to spoil it too much, but yeah, that's basically the gist of it, is that the human version of themselves and the monster version of themselves kind of coexist. I think it's interesting. I just don't think it's a very good episode. And this Lexi as the fish, I think it's Lexi who's the fish. It's also just kind of disturbing and weird. Number 18, going to be Girl Meets World of Terror 2. So this is the season 2 episode of Girl Meets World Halloween. They all got the World of Terror 1, 2, and 3. The second one is by far my personal least favorite. The second one and third one are not that good in my opinion. But the second one here is kind of like they're flappers and this ghost haunts them, and then they go to the Central Park Spooktacular, which is kind of a good universe in its own right. They have like 4 or 5 different episodes that I'm going to talk about on this list that involve this Central Park Spooktacular. So it's kind of a cool little universe in itself, involving like 5 different shows. But this one specifically, not a very good episode. Number 17 is going to be Girl Meets World of Terror 3. So basically, the premise of this is it's like as if Riley and Maya have never met. So it's just basically an entire what if episode, which is like just makes it that much worse in my opinion. Like, it's not real. This is not canon. It's just like, oh, what if they never met? Then Maya's gonna be such a bad girl and stuff like that. And it's like, cool, I guess, but it's kind of just boring and lame in my own personal opinion. Number 16, this is where we're gonna get to the ones that I actually like. Season 3 of Good Luck Charlie is called La Halloween. It's a solid episode. It's Toby's first Halloween, so that gives a little bit of other stuff in there. It's also Teddy and Spencer's 1 year anniversary. Apparently, their anniversary is Halloween, which is kind of strange. But yeah, when they do that, PJ throws them a, anniversary dinner or something like that. It's kind of cool. It's interesting. It's not very. There's not a whole lot going on, so it's not like crazy good, but it's fine. Number 15 is going to be the Ghostess with Moses season 4 episode of Jessie. I'm not sure why this picture is very blurry, but this is decent. It's kind of where Stuart is having Halloween with them, and then there's this ghost Abigail who kind of like basically haunts them and kind of like essentially kidnaps, if you want to call it that, like kidnaps all the other people. It's really it's kind of a fun episode in my own opinion, but it's not that great, but it is pretty solid. Number 14 is going to be Haunt-A-Rooney, season 1 episode of Liv and Maddie. I think this one's actually a pretty good episode. This is like all these ones I said after like the first Good Luck Charlie that I talked about are all good episodes in my opinion. This one's pretty fun. It's very early on in the Liv and Maddie universe, so again, the 5th episode they ever made was a Halloween episode, so it's not going to be too good because we don't really have a whole lot of background information and stuff, and I'm not really involved with all the characters anyways. So having a Halloween episode that early is kind of interesting, but I do think it works pretty well. Um, Basically, like there's a Halloween party. Liv is a kangaroo. She's not. She makes it a surprise that she's a kangaroo, and then Joey kind of hits on her, which is kind of strange. But yeah, number 13 is going to be Ghost Bummers for Jessie season 3, episode 1. It's weird to start a season off with a Halloween episode, but that's what they did, and it actually works pretty well. I think it's pretty good. Basically, like they throw a Halloween party. Mrs. Chesterfield throws a Halloween party. Luke and Emma kind of get possessed by some whatever demon type stuff, and kind of that's basically the whole plot of the episode. It's pretty good. It's kind of a little like I don't like the possession and stuff all that great because it's kind of just strange. But like I do think it's a pretty solid episode. Definitely kind of a more one of the scarier ones out of the Disney Channel episodes. Number 12 is going to be a season 2 from Good Luck Charlie. Scary Had a Little Lamb. So I mean, this one's pretty decent. Gabe is like supposed to protect Mrs. Dabney's house. She's like paying him to protect his house rather than prank and prank her house like he's done basically all the years before apparently. So that's they have their own little side story there, which is pretty good. PJ is like a goth apparently, which is strange. But yeah, it's a good fun little episode. Number 11 is going to be Girl Meets World of Terror from season 1. This is the only World of Terror one that I really like. This one's pretty good. It's basically all about Riley kind of getting over her fear of staying at Maya's house because she thinks Maya lives in a bad neighborhood with all these weird scary shadows and stuff and noises that she hears. But then she kind of gets over that fear. She stays at her house and gets over that fear. That's basically the whole point of this episode. I think it's really done really well in my own opinion. That's going to be it. Number 10 is going to be Summerween from Gravity Falls. This is a great episode. I mean, Gravity Falls is primarily a summer show, so they have to make their own Halloween-esque thing, which is call it Summerween. The whole story is this town loves Halloween so much they celebrate it twice a year. So again, the logic there, in my opinion, would mean that they celebrate on April 31st and October 31st. I don't think there's an April 31st, but you get the point. Because that'll be the 6 months, that'll be 6 months apart, which would make the most sense. But I guess they celebrate in the middle of the summer, so it's not even 6 months apart. So the timeline there seems a little bit off, but I still think it's a really good episode. Where Dipper and Mabel have to get all this candy before they basically get killed by this candy monster dude. Yeah. Number 9 is going to be Mutant Farm 2. So the first two Mutant Farms I think are really good. Mutant Farm 2 is kind of deals with the Holland Hayes guy who has a crush on China and Olive, clones herself like a million times. China and Olive China and Holland basically switch themselves. Holland's a human, China's a monster, and they use a machine basically make themselves opposite so that they could date other person without getting weird. Then since they both did it, it's again kind of weird. They got to switch back, and they have a good song at the end of it. Though this is a really good episode, in my opinion. Number 8 is going to be Best Friends Whenever episode. Sid and Shelby's Haunted Escape. This is also a little bit early in the Best Friends Whenever timeline, and they don't necessarily use, because the whole point in this is that they are time travelers, but then they use Barry machine. He made a teleportation machine instead of just a time travel machine that got them their powers. So now they have a teleportation machine that they can teleport to New York, and then they go through this whole thing here. And this also involves a Central Park Spooktacular, which I think is really good. This episode probably does that the best, or at least one of the best, in my opinion. It's really good, really fun, but also a little bit of a plot hole. Barry makes a teleportation device, and it's never used again. That's kind of odd. They do end up becoming ghosts, and that's apparently because of the teleportation thing. But still think they would have tried to use that a little bit more in future episodes of Best Friends Whenever. But aside from that, this is a really good episode. Number 7 is going to be Haunt-A-Rooney from Liv and Maddie. I don't think Liv and Maddie has a single bad Halloween episode besides Haunt-A-Rooney. That one was bad. Kangarooni's solid, and then this season 4 here was really really good. It's close to the beginning of season 4, so again, it's kind of a little odd to have the Halloween episode towards the beginning, but this one I think is done really really well. So basically, there's a lot of different stories going on here. Liv and this chick, I don't remember her name, they go to this haunted dinner place. Maddie is trying to catch the spider sprayer in the neighborhood, and then Parker and Joey are trying to prove to their school basically that Halloween can be fun. There's a whole lot of different things going on. I think this is really done really really well. And I mean, I just love Liv and Maddie in general, especially season 4 of Liv and Maddie. There's a whole bunch of cool things happening, and this episode is one of them. Number 6 is going to be season 1 of Mutant Farm. So basically, what this is, it's kind of a parody episode to the very first episode of the series. First episode, obviously, China's a human, and then the second, like this one, is basically a parody, as in all the advanced natural talent people are mutants, and I think it's pretty. It's definitely a cool concept, and I really like it a lot. They also have a really good song at the end of this episode, and yeah, it's a parody to the first episode. So if you've watched the first episode of Ant Farm, you already kind of know what happens in a lot of this. It's just kind of roles reversed, where instead of them being made fun of or whatever, they are the mutants, so they kind of run the school. 5 is going to be costumes, Courage from Austin and Ally, season 2. It's episode 1 of season 2. So again, a weird way to start Halloween, start a season with the Halloween episode, but this one's done really well in my opinion. Basically, they get invited to a Halloween party thrown by Jimmy Starr, Austin's record label guy, and Taylor Swift's supposed to be a guest singer with Austin. They're supposed to sing a duet together. Then apparently they knock out Taylor Swift, and Ally has to sing with Austin. It's pretty fun episode, and it's really important to the story of Austin and Ally, because Ally has never sang before. She has stage fright. She does not sing in front of people, but her doing that in this episode kind of jump starts the rest of the show, where Ally gradually gets less and less afraid of singing in front of people. Number 4 here is going to be Halloween from Wizards of Waverly Place, season 3. Again, season 3, episode 2. So it starts at the beginning of the episode. That's a kind of a common theme of a lot of these seasons. I mean, it's not really their fault. Like, they have to go through. It's just all about the timing of when they air the seasons and stuff. But I think it is weird to have Halloween episodes at the beginning. But this one's really done really, really well. They go to the wizard world, have to find real wizards to make their haunted house really, really cool. And I think it's done pretty well. This one I probably have the most nostalgia for. Also, it is the oldest episode I have on this list, so that could very well be something to do with that. And Wizards of Waverly Place is probably my favorite Disney Channel show. So again, a little bit of bias in that aspect, but still, I think this is a really, really good episode. Number 3 is going to be Haunt-A-Rooney on Liv and Ant season 3. Again, this also goes back to the Central Park Spooktacular. Really, really fun episode here. Kind of the whole point is, this Central Park Spooktacular is not even the main part. All that is that, Liv meets Holden there randomly, and they're not supposed to be together because Holden just broke up with Liv's best friend. So, it'd be weird if they're seen there together, but then the guy takes a picture of them. They have to delete that picture because, and you can't see it. Within the side story, I guess this is the side story, really. But the main story would be Parker trying to prank Maddie at the school because, it's been the tradition that the high schoolers scare the middle schoolers, but in this, Parker wants to go scare the high schoolers, mostly Maddie, and he does so. So I'm not going to go too far into that, because if you haven't seen the episode, it's kind of a big review at the end. So yeah, but it's a really, really fun episode. Number 2 is going to be the Whining from Jessie, season 2, episode 1. Again, starting a season off with a Halloween episode, but this is a very, very, very good episode. It's kind of a whole relation and stuff to the Shining, the movie. You got twins, you got blood on the wall or blood in the elevator, you got a random dude with a knife, whole bunch of different references to the Shining. I think it's done very, very well. And I think this is probably, I don't know if I would say it's necessarily scary to me, obviously, but again, as a younger kid watching this, you could find this certainly a little scary, but just me watching it now, I just find all the Shining references very very cool and very nice to look at and kind of give you that remembrance of The Shining. Watching it when I first watched it, 10 plus years ago, however, I definitely did not get any of those references because I had never seen The Shining. But adult now, I can you know very much enjoy this for being a Shining reference. Number one is going to be the Ghost of Sweet 16 from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. This is probably what I've seen everybody ranking. Anybody that ranks Disney Channel Halloween episodes, this is number one on everybody's list, and it makes sense. It's all about this ghost of Sweet 613 who's haunting it, and they basically, they say, "Oh, let's spend the night in the suite because that'd be fun. It's not haunted," and like they go through all these things, and then it's really really fun, really good episode, and I really love Sweet Life of Zack and Cody in general, and this is one of their best overall episodes. So yeah, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you for watching. Be sure to let me know if there's episodes that I missed on here, and let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Goodbye.